Alright, how are we doing, YouTube? I'm here today. I'm going to be bringing you my review of Windows 8, but before we go into that, I have a little introduction to make. My introduction is simply this. For all of you gonads on YouTube who are saying, oh, it sucks, oh, it's this beta sucks, oh, what is Microsoft doing? Okay, let's take it down a notch for a second. What part of developer preview did you not understand? I mean, I can understand if it was a beta, some of the criticism may have some legitimacy, but being a developer preview and distributing it with the developer SDK, at any point during the download and install and testing process, did you go, hey, it doesn't work properly because Microsoft is right now giving it to me and asking me, hey, if you have a brain and if you have any coding knowledge, can you help us make it better? It's not a beta, it's a developer preview. It's for guys like me who saw the Windows 8 unveiling and went, holy shit, that looks like such a great piece of technology. That program was good. I want to try. It is for guys like me who just want to play around with it. It's for guys like me who, when Windows 7 was first being built, codename Longhorn, all those things back with Vista, you know what I'm talking about. It's for guys like me who, whenever a developer preview came out within Microsoft, there's one guy up in Microsoft leaking it out onto the torrent websites as they're busy releasing it. It's for guys like me who were downloading them and installing them, and yeah, they work like shit, but because of the fact that it was what Microsoft, it was the most current version Microsoft had, we were happy. That's what this is. It's not a beta. It's just simply Microsoft going, you know what, instead of going through all the bullshit and the drama of having our employee leak out the developer preview, or it getting left behind in some hotel room, how much technology ends up in Engadget that way. Why don't we just simply, put it up on the website? It's not killing anybody. It's not hurting anybody. And if people want to download it and use it, great. They can toy around with it, whatever. But there's a big-ass disclaimer that says this is not a final product. It's not supposed to work properly yet. If it did, which amazingly it works way better than I thought, but if it worked properly by now, it wouldn't be a developer preview, would it? It would be on a shelf in a store. God, use some fucking common sense. It's like you're reviewing a car that just came out. Like, oh, this car sucks. Right now, Windows 8 is a car that's still missing half of the engine and the body panels. Would you buy it? Hell no, because it ain't finished. So shut the fuck up and stop complaining about how, oh, it sucks. Well, duh, it's gonna suck. It's not finished. Okay, with that being said, the point of this review is to review the direction that Windows 8 is going in, as well as, believe it or not, a little bit of how it's working right now, because it works, and it actually does work very well for a developer preview. There's that magic word again. That magic word. Anyways, the interface is very revolutionary, I must say. If you know anything about tech products within the past 3-4 years, Windows is right now following what they first started with the Zune. That's right, that poor little cheeky bastard who died. Long live the Zune. Best DACs of any MP3 short of Cohen products. Anyways, they're following the Zune philosophy with the menu should be clean, it should be simple, and it should be organized. Now, Apple fanboys can always argue that, okay, they're following what Apple was doing with, having applications the way they're laid out. But then you'd be a hypocrite and a retard because of the fact that Nokia was doing that way before Apple even decided to get in the phone business. Symbian, who remembers Symbian, everything had that similar layout. It's called icons. But what Windows 8 is doing is, instead of making it an icon, it's becoming something much more dynamic. For instance, with the whole page tagging that you can do with Internet Explorer. It's quite good. It's amazing that, number one, the way that Windows 8 handles memory, this is going into you people who are saying that it is simply a new version of Windows 7 that's just been reskinned. It's not, so shut the hell up. Why don't you do some research and look at something what they call memory allocation, as well as the way that it handles multiple threads that are exactly the same. If you do a little research into that, you'll find out it's not exactly Windows 7 with a nice new lick of paint. It ain't Dolly Parton after she just came from the plastic surgeon's office. No, this is a whole new girl we're dealing with here. So, that being said, being able to just simply dive into a tag. Like, hey, I turned on my computer, I want to check my Facebook. One click. One click. After you log in, one click, that's it, to get to your Facebook page. Versus the double click that you used to have to do. And usually it's 3 clicks because you have to double click. If the fastest version I use so far is using Chrome, where you'd have to double click and then click in Chrome for Facebook. And that was it. Pretty fast. Now it's just 1 click. It may not seem like, oh, being lazy, you cut a big deal about a couple of clicks, but for someone like me, who, if I'm checking my computer quick, I expect to be as fast as I can to get through as many things as possible. I might have emails to check. I have IMs I need to check. I need to check my Facebook. Maybe I got to check my Twitter. Being able to do it all with 2 movements, hitting the Windows key and a click, that is great. That can cut up to 30 seconds off of how long it may take you to go through your top 5 favorite websites, and that can save a lot of time for a power user. Moving on, the interface is also about being able to create a new level of organization. Microsoft is trying to pull us away from having a start menu. So that, in my opinion, is great. And also, it's about creating an interface that is nowhere near as cluttered as some of you MacBook users would know when you have your little dock on the bottom, and after you've installed quite a few applications, you've got this massive long list of icons. No, Windows 8 is about simply, you know what? You have 20 by 20. No, it's not 20. It's 20, up to 20 icons at one time, covering your whole screen on the Metro user interface, and being able to expeditiously navigate through all of your programs, not by their name, but by what they do. If you look at where Windows 8 is heading, what they're going to do is start grouping all of your applications based on what they do. For instance, all of your photo editing applications will be under their own photo editing tab. So therefore, instead of having to scroll through by name and hunting because you might have a lot of programs on there, now you can just go to what are you looking to do and what application under what you're looking to do you need. That's where it's heading, and I gotta say right now, the Metro user interface, very fast, I'm loving it, very clean, very modern look. In fact, I love leaving my laptop locked. I love using the little weather gadget. Oh my god, that is beautiful. The weather application is gorgeous. So, Windows 8 is original in its own sense, and it is very revolutionary. I say that because of the fact that I can see it will mean, that the desktop, the whole layout that we were accustomed to, has finally reached the end of its life. It's like the Volkswagen Beetle, you know. It came out, everybody's like, what the it's crude, it's rudimentary, it's never gonna work, and it's been holding on for the past God knows how many years. Right now is like the time when VW said, you know, it's time we go in a new direction. Right now, Windows is showing this Beetle has reached the end of its life. It's time to redesign, it's time to go in a new direction. It is time that we say, you know what, we had a great run, you've been a good friend all these years, start button, but it's time that, you know what, you go to the old folks home, you know, time for you to just wake up every morning, go to Country Kitchen Buffet, and be left behind with the rest of those people who are unwilling to upgrade. But for those of us who are willing to learn something new, it is fast, it is efficient, it is gorgeous, and it is unique. And it's finally the direction that Microsoft needs to go, at creating a user interface that works. Kudos to you, Microsoft, to keep up the good work. Now, for, once again, all of the fanboys out there who undoubtedly are on the Mac side, Macs have their purpose. They do. Macs are for people who just simply want a computer that will work. They don't have to worry about viruses, all of that. But they are not for power users. A true computer user doesn't use Windows or PC. A person who grew up with computers, who really wants a stable operating system, one word, Linux. Guess what? All of you Apple fanboys, you can thank Linux for everything that you have. Because guess what? The Unix code, as far as I'm concerned, if I'm wrong, correct me in the comments, but a lot of what's out for Apple and Windows at the same time, Linux started it because Linux was there first. Linux was the groundworks for everything. It had different names, there were different versions. It wasn't called Linux at the time. But what Linux is Genesis. That was the beginning of mass computing. Then Bill Gates, back in his garage, came out with Windows. Apple, I'm not sure the history on Apple on that one, but I know Apple pretty much was right there at the beginning, and I think they came a little after Windows. But what really got Apple moving was the fact that, you know what, they went for what us people like in this day and age. Looks. That's it. That's what Apple is very big for. Looks. I just find it ironic that PC killed Jobs. That there, I was freaking laughing for days. So, this is my review of Windows 8. Yes, I am a very big fan of Windows products, and that is only because I like being able to play a game and go on my Facebook, and in the event that my computer does have a malfunction, I can fix it myself instead of having to send it to, what do you guys call them, the geniuses? Well, a bunch of tech guys who have a manual that tells them how to fix a computer, and they're called geniuses. Any dumbass can fix a computer. All it takes is a little patience and some, some reading skills, That's it. So, Windows 8. Can't wait. I rhymed. Should be a rapper. That'll be interesting. Anyways, take care. Take care, face.